Okay, we are live on Zoom. Good morning. Welcome to County Court of Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court. Today is a plea docket, 1000 hours a.m. on Friday morning, the 19th of March, 2021. Today we have 5 plea packets for the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court. All are Trac 1 pretrial intervention. First one is cause number 640429, State of Texas versus Domingo Moreno Jr., represented by Ann Burnham. The second one is 635118, State of Texas versus Jacob Oberts, represented by Ivan Barrera. The third is cause 625842, State of Texas versus James Wagner, also represented by Mr. Ivan Barrera. We have cause 645475 and 645476, State of Texas versus Nathan Braden, represented by Rebecca Brett. And last, we have 617843 and 617844, State of Texas versus Damon McGrew Jr. These are all Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Trac 1 pretrial intervention pleas and probation agreements. At this time, I'm going to have each of you identify your signatures on a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference in cause 640429. Mr. Moreno, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Burnham, as attorney for Mr. Moreno, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. In cause 635118, Mr. Obert, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Barrera, as attorney for Mr. Obert, is this your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. In cause 625842, State of Texas versus James Wagner. Mr. Wagner, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And once again, Mr. Barrera, as attorney for Mr. Wagner, is this your signature?
It is, Judge.
Thank you. In cause 645475 and 645476, I have one document for each case. Mr. Braden, are these your signatures on each of these documents, sir?
Yes, they are, Your Honor.
And Ms. Brett, as attorney for Mr. Braden, are these your signatures on each of these two documents, ma'am?
They are, Your Honor.
Thank you. In cause 617843 and 617844, once again, I have one document for each case. Mr. McGrew, is this your signature on each of these documents, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Barrera, as attorney for Mr. McGrew, are these your signatures on each of these documents?
They are, Judge.
The next document I'm looking at for each of you is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Moreno, in cause 640429, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Over in cause 635118, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you. Mr. Wagner, in cause 625842, is this your signature on this?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Braden, in cause 645475 and 645476, I have one document for each case. Are these your signatures on both these documents, sir?
Yes, sir, they are.
Mr. McGrew, in cause 617843 and 617844, I have one document for each case. Are these your signatures on each of these two documents, sir?
Yes, sir.
By signing these documents, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys. So that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, Mr. Moreno?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Obert?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, Mr. Wagner? Is
Yes, sir.
that correct, Mr. Braden, in both cases?
That's correct, Judge.
Is that correct, Mr. McGrew, in both cases?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. As attorney for Mr. Moreno, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Your Honor, my name is Isaac Cerna. I'm here with Supervising Attorney Ann Burnham on behalf of Mr. Moreno, and we believe Mr. Moreno is competent.
I'm sorry, for the record, what is your name again? I'm sorry.
Isaac Cerna, Your Honor.
Got it. Thanks. Okay, same question for attorney for Mr. Obert.
We have, Judge, and yes, he is competent.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Wagner.
We also have, Judge, and yes, he is.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Braden on both cases.
Your Honor, we have had time, and yes, he is competent.
Thank you. Same question for attorney for Mr. McGrew on both cases.
We have, Your Honor, and yes, he is.
Okay. Mr. Moreno, are you a United States citizen?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Obert.
Yes, sir, I am.
Same question for Mr. Wagner.
Yes, sir.
Same question for Mr. Braden on both cases.
I am, Judge.
Same question for Mr. McGrew on both cases.
Yes, sir.
Defense counsel for Mr. Moreno, has the state fully comply with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Obert.
They have, Your Honor.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Wagner.
They have, Your Honor.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Braden in both cases.
Sorry, they have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for attorney for Mr. McGrew in both cases.
They have, Your Honor, for both cases.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Moreno on class 640429 to the charge of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Places you on 1 year. Bear County Veterans Treatment Court. Track 1 pretrial intervention. Hang on a second while I write all this down. Assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI, let's see what we're dealing with. Yeah, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, outpatient drug with either the Veterans Administration or a designated VTC provider. Smart Start Mobile for 1/2 the term, which would be 6 months. And restitution, if any, to Jesus Reyes. Eventually, we got a feel for whether that the insurance will take care of that or that's going to become an issue.
I believe insurance is going to take care of that, Your Honor.
Right. Okay, state, what did I miss? Oh, successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court issue judge's bond, defendant be supervised by CFCD and VTC staff. Okay, state, now what did I miss?
Got it all, Judge.
Defense, I miss anything?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Moreno, what'd you do in the military, sir?
Supply.
Oh, you were very popular. Okay, Mr. Moreno, I got one more thing for you. I'm now looking at a document entitled Track 1, Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract bind between you and your attorney and the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the terms and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And defense, is this your signature and representation of Mr. Moreno on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state, I've got the signature, looks like Nicholas Maru, Assistant Criminal District Attorney. That'd be y'all's signature.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Big trouble now, Mr. Moreno, we got you on contract. Okay, that's about all I got for Mr. Moreno. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Moreno?
Judge, this is Josh Childers, VTC Director. For all of our VTC applicants that are coming in today, Mr. Mora is going to call you after this is over to explain the next steps. So if you don't necessarily need to stay on for the remainder of the docket, okay? Just after you plea in, you're good to go.
And for the record, my understanding is Mr. Moreno is currently at Via Serena for the 28-day program. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It's 45 days.
45 days. Okay. Great. Thanks for volunteering for that, sir. All right. Anything further from the state of the defense of Mr. Moreno?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Moreno, thank you, defense. Y'all are excused. Okay. Mr. Obert, 635-118. To the charge of driving while intoxicated with blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Places you on 1 year. Bear County Veterans Treatment Court. Track 1 pretrial intervention, assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive veteran treatment court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile home interlock for 1/2 the term, which is in this case is 6 months. Outpatient treatment with either the Veterans Administration or a designated VTC provider. Successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Course. The defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. No restitution on this one. State, what did I miss on Mr. Obert's case?
Got it all, Judge.
Defense, we get it all?
You got it all, Judge.
Okay, you got to watch Mr. Obert. He's going to be crafty. He's an Air Force guy, just like Doc. All right, Mr. Obert, I'm now looking at a document entitled Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract signed between you and your attorney and the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. This contract setting out all prerequisites and requirements of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Whereas Attorney Mr. Obert, is this your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
And I see Assistant Criminal District Attorney signature on this document. And once again, Nicholas Maru. So state, I guess that's you, correct?
Correct, Judge.
Okay. We're all good on Mr. Obert. What did you do in the military, sir?
I was an Air Force medic.
Oh, good. We need lots of medics. We like to have those guys around all the time. So welcome
Yes,
aboard.
sir.
All right. Thanks for your service. Anything further we need to talk about on Mr. Obert?
None from the defense, Judge.
Mr. Obert, thank you, Mr. Barrera.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Wagner, class 25842. To the charge of driving while intoxicated with blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Places you on 1 year. Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1 pretrial intervention. Probation assessing $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee. 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile home interlock for 1/2 the term or 6 months, and outpatient drug treatment through either the Veterans Administration or a designated VTC provider requiring successful completion of the VTC, issue judge's bond, defendant to be supervised by VTC staff and the CSCD. State and defense, what did I miss?
Got it all, Judge.
All right, we're good. Mr. Wagner, at this time, I'm looking at a document entitled Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract signed between you and your attorney and the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. That contract setting out all the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is, sir.
And Mr. Barrera, once again, as attorney for Mr. Wagner, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
And I have Mr. Maru's signature, the Assistant Criminal District Attorney, which I assume is legitimate, is it not stated?
Correct, Judge.
And that takes care of that one. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Wagner?
None from the defense, Judge.
Mr. Wagner, what did you do in the military, sir?
I was a combat medic, sir.
And did you get to go on a summer trip to scenic Afghanistan or Iraq or any of those colorful places?
A few times, Your Honor.
All right. Well, thanks for your service, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now we've got Mr. Braden in clause 645-475. Mr. Braden in clause 645-475 for the charge of driving while intoxicated with the blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Lady, you got 1 year. Bear County Veterans Treatment Court. Pretrial diversion probation, assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. Let's see what y'all agreed to here. With DWI Education, DWI Victim Impact Panel, Smart Start Mobile, 6 months, a firearm safety course, and outpatient drug alcohol treatment through the Veterans Administration or another designated VTC provider. In this case, to run concurrent with 645-476. And I believe that takes care of that one. Issue judge's bond, defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Braden in 645-475?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Braden in clause 645-476 to the charge of unlawfully carrying a handgun. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Holds it in abeyance. Places you on 1 year. Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Trac 1 trial intervention. Assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive veterans treatment for 48 hours community service, providing all that based on your military service. Same requirements in the last case. These are all running concurrent. DWI Education, DWI Victim Impact Panel, Smart Start Mobile Home Interlock for 6 months, firearm safety course, outpatient VTC treatment and completion at either the VA or a designated provider. This case is running concurrent with 645-475. What kind of handgun is it?
It was a Gen 5 Glock 19, Judge.
Okay. State, what are we doing with this handgun?
Judge, I guess motion to forfeit the weapon if his defense attorney wants it.
Ms. Brett, in lieu of destroying this handgun, would you be willing to accept it as additional attorney's fees?
Yes, please.
Okay, with the understanding that it's not to be returned to the defendant, his family, or his friends. Is that agreed?
Yes,
Understood, Your
Judge.
Honor.
All right, so ordered. And once again, 645-475 and 645-476 are running concurrent. On each of these, we have basically the same document entitled Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract on each of these cases by and between Mr. Braden and his attorney and the Bear County Criminal Attorney's Office. Each of these contracts setting out specifics and prerequisites of the successful completion of the VTC. Is this your signature on each of these two contracts, Mr. Braden?
Yes, it is, Judge.
Ms. Brett, as attorney for Mr. Braden, is this your signature on each of these contracts?
It is, Your Honor.
And then we have signatures of Mr. Nicholas Maru on each of these contracts, which I assume is the Assistant Criminal District Attorney. Would that be correct, State?
Correct, Judge.
Okay. What did you do in the military, Mr. Braden?
I was a anti-tank assaultman.
I'm sorry, you were what again?
An anti-tank assaultman. So we shot rockets and rigged demolitions.
Blow things up and break things. I like the way you think.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're all good. Thanks for your service, sir. Anything further from the state of the defense? Braden in 645-475 or 645-476?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Braden, thank you, Ms. Brett. Okay, we've got Mr. McGrew in clause 617-843 and 617-844. Mr. McGrew in clause 617-843 to the charge of reckless driving. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty, sir.
Court accepts your, did you say guilty? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Court accepts the plea of guilty, hold it in abeyance, places you on 1 year, Bear County Veterans Treatment Court. Track 1, pretrial intervention, assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. And let's see what portions y'all agreed to. DWI Education, Victim Impact Panel, Smart Start Mobile Home Interlock for 6 months, outpatient VTC treatment and completion. Well, State, what was the alleged reckless driving? Is this like a speed thing or?
Correct, Judge. It was just speeding.
And how fast were we going allegedly?
I don't have the report in front of me, Judge, but I do remember.
I'll bet 2 or 3 remembers. How fast did they say you were going, sir?
I believe it was like 100.
Okay. Not like 145, like 100?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, we got one contract on each of these documents entitled Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, Mr. McGrew, on each of these two documents, each document sets out the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Barrera, the attorney for Mr. McGrew, is this your signature on each of these two documents, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
And apparently we have the infamous Mr. Nicholas Maru's signature again on each of these two documents. The state, I'm assuming you're confirming that's Mr. Maru's signature.
Correct, Judge.
Okay. Issue judge's bond on each of these cases. Each of these cases runs concurrent with the other. 617843 will run concurrent with 617844. 617844 will run concurrent with 617843. And let's see. Mr. McGrew, what did you do in the military, sir, when you weren't doing other colorful things?
I was a med tech, sir.
Okay. Okay, have we done the plea on 617844? I didn't done that yet, have I? And cause 617844 to the charge of driving while intoxicated with blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Court accepts your plea of guilty, holds it in abeyance, places you on 1 year Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Trac 1 pretrial diversion. Assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile home interlock for 6 months, outpatient drugs through the Veterans Administration or other designated VTC provider. Once again, these cases 617843 and 617844 running concurrent. Issue judge's bond, defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. We've already gone over the contract. What did you do in the military, Mr. LaRue?
Medical technician, sir.
Right, you told me that. Thanks for your service, sir. Anything further from the state of the defense with Mr. McGrew?
Done from the defense, Judge.
Okay, the reckless driving crime wave is over. Okay, good luck to all you guys.
Thank you, Judge.
Everybody, Ron, do you need to tell them what to do on processing some of this paperwork or getting back with you?
I'll give him a call, Judge.
All right. Mr. Moore,
Thank
we'll
you.
be in touch with you. Thanks for all your help and all your service. Y'all are dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Have we got our regular plea guys here yet?
Yes, Your Honor. The only person that we are lacking is Miss Heiser, but her is on.
Okay, but we've got Mr. Johnson and Ms. Grant.
Yes.
We've got Ms. Fuertes and Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
We've got Mr. Galindo and Mr. Davison.
Yes, and then Gail Calderola is on, Your Honor, as well.
Who is Calderola representing?
Ms. Heiser,
Okay, but the defendant is not available today for some reason?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Do we know where?
I talked to her and she said she'd be available and I texted her. So let me call her.
She has not signed her paperwork. I just checked.
Oh, really?
Yes, again.
I talked to her. She was good with everything. Let me find out. I apologize. I thought this was all lined up.
Is Pat, when is our next plea docket next week?
Monday.
Monday
at 2.
Let's tentatively say that y'all are reset for Monday at 2 to give y'all time to get together and get your paperwork done. If you have a problem, just call Pat and we'll handle it.
And I apologize to the court.
Not a problem. Thanks for your help.
Weekend.
Okay. 3 cases, 651-014, State of Texas versus Moses Cato Johnson Jr., 641-583, State of Texas versus Stella Fuertes, and class 647-996, State of Texas versus Damon Raul Galindo. Mr. Johnson is represented by Ms. Suzanne Kramer, Mrs. Fuertes is represented by Mr. Gabriel Hernandez, and Mr. Galindo is represented by William. I'm first looking at a document on each of y'all's packets. That said document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Mr. Johnson in 651-014. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Ms. Kramer, as attorney for Mr. Johnson, would this be your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Fuertes in clause 641-583. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hernandez, as attorney for Ms. Fuertes, is this your signature also on this document?
It is, Judge.
Thank you. In clause 647-996, Mr. Galindo, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Davidson, as attorney for Mr. Galindo, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
The next document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court Admonitions. It purports to have each of your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. Mr. Johnson, is this your signature on this document also, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Fuertes, would this be your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Galindo, would this be your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
By signing these documents, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney. So that in signing the documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, Mr. Johnson?
Moses,
Moses?
you need to
I'm sorry,
unmute.
I'm having problems with my audio. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Is that correct, Ms. Fuertes?
Yes, sir.
And is that correct, Mr. Galindo?
Yes, Your Honor.
As attorney for Mr. Johnson, have you had enough time to go over this case with him, and in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Judge.
Same question for attorney for Ms. Fuertes?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Galindo.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Same question for Ms. Fuertes?
Yes, sir.
Same question for Mr. Galindo. Mr. Galindo, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. As attorney for Mr. Johnson in clause 651-014, Ms. Kramer, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
They have, Judge.
Same question for Mr. Hernandez as attorney for Ms. Fuertes in 641-583.
They have, Judge.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Davidson as attorney for Mr. Galindo about 647-996.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Johnson in clause 651-014 to the charge of altering or obscuring vehicle registration. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Okay, your paperwork says no contest. I don't think it matters to the state or to me, however y'all want to do that.
Judge, I always do no contest. It's a JSAT, so you're going to be finding him guilty anyway.
Got it. And Ms. Kramer, what sort of happened in this case? Is this like an inspection sticker thing or what's going on?
It is an inspection sticker.
Which reminds me, I have to put mine on this afternoon. I get in trouble too. Okay. Is there an agreement in this case, state, for Mr. Johnson?
1 day Bear County Jail, $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, and he has to be a JSAT judge.
That is the agreement, Judge.
Are we gonna have any more problems with these heinous offenses, Mr. Johnson? Back next week, Robin Banks.
No, sir.
Okay, and Ms. Kramer, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Judge.
Mr. Johnson, in clause 651-014, the court accepts your plea of no contest. I find you guilty. I says 1 day in the Bear County Jail, a $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense on public enemy number 1, Mr. Johnson?
No, Judge.
Good luck, Mr. Johnson. Thank you, Ms. Kramer. Y'all are excused.
Thank you. You
Thank
can
you.
leave, Mr. Johnson.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Kramer.
Yes, sir. Clause 641-583, State of Texas versus Stella Fuertes. To the charge of theft. I guess this would be what, $100 to $750? Class B?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Agreement for Ms. Fuertes.
1 day in the Bear County Jail, $300 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. This also is a JSAT judge.
Is that correct, defense?
It is correct, Judge.
What was allegedly stolen by Ms. Fuertes?
I believe, Judge, it was a cash and a cell phone.
Ah, okay. Okay, Ms. Fuertes, in clause 641-583, the court accepts your plea of no contest. I find you guilty. That says 1 day in the Bear County Jail, a $300 fine plus court costs, Credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Fuertes?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Ms. Fuertes. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Y'all are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, and clause 647996, State of Texas versus Damon Raul Galindo. Mr. Galindo to the charge of unlawfully carrying a handgun. I'm guessing this is. Does that sound right? How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
An agreement for Mr. Galindo.
12 months deferred adjudication, $400 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, motion to forfeit the weapon, an APSE course, and a gun safety course.
What kind of weapon is this? I don't want the handgun.
It was a Glock, Your Honor. A Glock 45.
In lieu of destroying this weapon, Mr. Davidson, would you be willing to accept it as additional attorney's fees with the understanding it's not to be returned to the defendant, his family, or his friends?
Yes, sir.
Your state, would that be all right with you instead of destroying this weapon?
Yes, Judge.
And state confirm it's a $400 fine plus court costs, correct?
Correct, Judge.
And Mr. Davidson, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. I just wanted to ask the court to consider probating a portion of the fine.
Do I have authority to do that, state? You guys normally agree on a plea bargain and it's set in concrete, but it's up to the state.
That's okay, Judge.
Thank you.
If we took his gun away, let me think about that. And this was a no contest plea. All right, gotcha. Mr. Galindo on clause 647996, court accepts your plea, no contest. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold the finding of guilt, placing on 1 year deferred adjudication probation. That's a $400 fine, probating $100 of that plus court costs. Motion to destroy the weapon is denied. Weapon awarded to defense counsel with additional attorney's fees, not to be returned to the defendant's family or his friends. APSE stress management course and a firearms safety course. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Galindo?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Galindo. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
Mr. Galindo, because you were
Yes.
taking probation, the probation department will contact you in about 48 hours. If they have not contacted you within that time period, you need to call the probation office. So do you have a pen and a paper so that I can give you the phone number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The phone number is 210-335-7200 and ask for intake. So if it's close to 48 hours and you have not heard from them, you call there, okay? Because if you don't, there may be a warrant for your arrest, and we don't want that to happen, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Galindo, Mr. Davison, you can bail. Good seeing y'all. Take
Thank
care.
you, Your
Honor.
And I assume we can come off of YouTube.